Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to show you my Anthurium collection, and thankfully they all reside in here, except a couple, which I'll have to go grab in a little bit. But yeah, most of my Anthuriums currently reside in this gigantic exo tank, and maybe I can bring you a little bit closer so you can see. But as you can see, it's the ginormous exo tank that you can potentially get. And yeah, currently right now up top it has a very deformed plexiglass, and the reason for that is because originally I had my grow lights up here, and I didn't like that the leaves would point upwards, because during the summertime, as you can see, all the leaves kind of point towards the window. So during the winter, I removed the lights from here and added them over here on the side. So in the winter time, they get lights from the front so they can continue to face one direction, and it's been working so far, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously during the summertime, I just remove I just don't even turn on the lights because it gets enough light from the windows. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about this Anthurium right over here. It's actually one of my favorites. This is the Anthurium domino, and it is a hybrid of a dorayaki. I don't know what the other mix is, but in any case, this Anthurium brought me so much joy, and I love how small and compact it is and how round it is. And if you can see, it kind of like bows out like a little bowl, kind of, I guess. I don't know. Currently right now, this does reside upstairs in my IKEA cabinet, and it's in like a chunky mix, a little bit of everything, and it's just rooting and loving life. So I'm gonna continue to let it do its thing. Now another hybrid that I have is this one right here. This is the Ethereum Luxurian, I don't know, but this is another hybrid. I think it's a hybrid with like a forgetti, just why it's kind of like the leaves are very long. Do I have a forgetti? I do. Hold on a second. So this one right here is an Ethereum forgetti. This is the dark form, and it has a new leaf that's just coming out, and you can kind of see the veinings are very similar. So I'm gonna say that this is mixed with an Ethereum forgetti. And yeah, this is my Ethereum forgetti. It's super cute. I actually grew this one from a chunk, and you know, I'm pretty proud of myself because I didn't think I was gonna have enough patience for it. But you just gotta throw it in a bag and forget about it, and then, you know, a couple months later it'll give you beautiful leaves. So yeah. So the next plant is this guy right over here, and I believe this is a Magnificum crossed with a crystallinum. And I posted on my Instagram that Tofu took a bite of this because of the teeth marks. I was just kidding. She didn't really do that because I'd have to call poison control if she did. But in any case, this was actually grown from a seedling. So you can see that it started off with little leaves, and then it gradually got bigger. And then we have this guy right over here. So right now, it needs to be watered, but I don't know if you can see that growth point right there. Something is about to happen, and I can't wait because I'm positive this leaf is going to be way bigger than this one. Now, mind you, this actually resides not in any exo tank or greenhouse or anything like that. It just sits out here in ambient room temperature. It's actually getting cold air right now because the AC is on, but it's doing just fine minus the messed up leaf. But I had actually tried putting this in the exo tank, and it was not happy with me. So I think the way that he grew this was in normal room temperature, and that's just what it liked. So I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, hopefully the next leaf will be bigger and much more perfect. All right, so another one of my favorites is this guy right over here. So this is an Ethereum Luxurian, and I had gotten this from Equigenera, and it's rooting in coarse perlite and pumice right now, so it's doing its thing. This plant is just so unique on its own. Like, the texture on the leaves is just stunning. It's almost like crocodile-ish to me. I don't know how else you would describe it. And the back, so the petiole on this is, it's almost like an octagon because it has, you know, 8 different sides, I think. Does it? I lied. So the petiole, the stem, is a pentagon because it has 5 sides, and right at the top, I don't know if you can see very well, it is ruffled. So it's just a very unique plant. It's very unique in its own way, and you know, I'm here for it. And that's the reason why I needed to have this in my collection, because it was just so different. All right, so the next plant that I'm pulling out is this Anthurium crystallinum, and it's a big one. So you can see this leaf is huge, and it is yellowing off, but that's okay because you know what? It does have a growth point right over here, and to me, it looks like in the next couple of weeks, something is gonna come out of there, and I'm here for it. So I find that the longer it takes for the growth point to kind of come up, the bigger the leaves are going to be. So then you're kind of looking at like 1 leaf a month, but that's okay, so long as it's perfect. In any case, this Anthurium is very special to me because I've actually had this for 2 years now, and this is the 2nd year that it's been with me, and it actually started off as this small. So it was like this big, and I didn't think, like ever, like I didn't think it was gonna grow to be as big as it is. Like, the size comparison is just unreal. But yeah, one thing that I will say is when you buy plants, please do your research because you need to be able to house them. Or otherwise, I mean, I guess you can kind of like chop them down as they get too big, but yeah, I just want to see how big it can get. This crystallinum is currently in soil. Yeah, it's rooting very well in no drainage holes. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than the veins are stunning. I don't know if I ever told you, but like Anthuriums were actually my 2nd favorite aroid out of all the plants that I have, and the reason for that is because of the veinings that they have. Like, it's very silvery, and like each leaf, each type of Anthurium has its own unique, I don't know, markings. For example, the Anthurium silver blush that I'm about to pull out, the veinings, the silver sheen on it is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so pretty. So let me put this down and I'll go grab it. Okay, so this silver blush was an import, and look at it. Look at the silver veins on this guy. It's beautiful. And you can see why it's called a silver blush, because it's almost like it is blushing, right? So it's more silver in the center, and then it just kind of bleeds outwards. And this is what a new leaf looks like. And you can even see here the veins, the silver veins it has. It's just so pretty. So this random leaf over here, I'm probably just gonna cut it. It is starting to yellow off, and you know what? I want this plant to just focus all its energy on this leaf right over here. So I'm just gonna have to prune some leaves. But yeah, this is my Anthurium silver blush. This was an import that I got in from, I think this was imported in from Indonesia. All right, so the next plant that I have is this Ethereum Magnificum right over here, and you know, it's just just one of those plants that you just have in your collection. It doesn't really bring me that much joy. I guess it's because I have this hybrid over here that's just huge and it's stunning. But yeah, this is just my Magnificum. It's a purebred, and the veins on this is not very silver, but it's very prominent. Like the texture, like you can just feel it. And the silver doesn't really bleed out as much. So this guy is mostly known for its gigantic leaves, and like I said, it's not quite gigantic yet, but one day. I'm gonna grab my strappy boy, and this plant was supposed to be like the most phenomenal plant that was in my collection, and I tell you, when I received it, it was. The leaves were like as long as my arm, my forearm, and I was so excited, but then it started getting root rot, and I didn't know what to do with it and why it was getting root rot. I think it was just due to shipping, because I had purchased it from somebody out west, and I think the moss was just too wet. So, you know, once you have root rot, you can't really do anything about it. You just have to let it dry out and work your magic. But anyways, this is kind of a disappointment. I'm sorry guys, but this is what it looks like today. I can't remember what it's actually called. So I'll just write in the caption for you. And yeah, this was supposed to be my strappy boy, because, you know, Kaylee Ellen was talking about all these strappy plants, and yeah, this is what I got. I mean, it's starting to grow fairly long now. Like this one leaf is starting to get kind of long, but still, I just can't believe I've had it for like a year and a half, and it's just been rotting. But anyways, it's starting to give me some juicier roots now that I've converted over to moss. But yeah, maybe when it gets longer and bigger, I'll be happier with it. But right now, I'm just waiting for it to completely die or impress me. What else do I have? I have another Anthurium forgetti and oh, a Clary. All right, so the next disappointing plant that I have is this Anthurium Clariinium. Now, this was not an import. I did purchase this locally, and when I first received this plant, the leaves were as big as this Magnificum. It had inflows, and I was like, oh my god, it's so happy because it's flowering. And everybody was like, just clip it, because if you don't, the leaves are going to be stunted because it's putting all this energy in the inflow. So I was like, okay. I clipped it, and it's been like this ever since. So I would always get these cute little baby leaves right over here, and then it would die. So I would get a new leaf and then it would die. So now it's in ponds, and I can see that it's rooting fairly well. I mean, the roots are looking okay. And I do have a growth point right now. Like even right now, you can see that it's starting to yellow. Like the edges are starting to yellow as it's giving me a new leaf right over here. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this plant, but it needs to start paying rent. All right, so those are all of my Anthuriums that I currently have in my exo tank over here. I think I have a couple more upstairs, but they're kind of just figuring their lives out. So once they start giving me good enough leaves, I will take them down and show you. But right now, these are all the ones that I have that I'm fairly okay and happy with. So yeah, I will say all of my Anthuriums are currently in soil. They can grow in moss, but I feel like they just do so much better in soil because the leaves just become so much bigger, and I think that's the type of medium that it prefers. I will say though, if you are having a hard time getting your leaves to kind of like come up, top it with some moss. So this guy here was kind of struggling a little bit, And then I gave it some moss, and now it's been just giving me cute little round leaves. So this has some moss, and I think even my crystallinum, yeah, my crystallinum, my silver blush, they all have like moss on top of it, and the moss is just gonna help retain more humidity, because I find that Anthuriums do prefer to have higher humidity for it to unfurl nicely. So yeah, all of my Anthuriums are in soil. You can root it in moss and then transition it over, but just make sure it's like a chunkier mix. And yeah, that's all for today, guys. If you want to see more videos and what's in my collection, just drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.